my first outing the day I got called up, I threw 3 shutout innings against the Oakland A's, and I got a save. The end of the game, we flew to Seattle, got a day off on Monday. Tuesday, I got called in to the game early. We were facing Randy Johnson, and our starter got knocked out. I came in, shut him down, and we went ahead, and I got a win in my second outing. So I got a save, I got a win. I mean, life is easy in the big leagues.
Riding high. Yeah.
But I threw 3 innings on Sunday, threw 4 1/3 innings on Tuesday, and came back on Thursday. And I told our pitching coach I was still tight. I needed an extra day. But a lot of times in the major leagues, they go with a guy with a hot hand. And so in the 6th inning, we were ahead. Pitcher got in trouble. They called down, told me to get up and start warming up. It took me forever to get loose, and then I'm in the game, and the first guy I'm facing, Jack Howell. Now this was in Anaheim, and I had 2 strikes on him, and I'm trying to get a ground ball. I throw a pitch, and I ripped a muscle.
Mm. Oh man.
And Dr. Job, famous Dr. Job, came and saw me in the trainer's room, and he said, "You've torn a muscle. It's not going to require surgery, but it's just an overuse."
We were talking about Mickey Weston before in his extensive minor league career, called up the other day. He's already picked up a win and a save in his 2 appearances with the Orioles, and here he is trying to preserve it now for Brian Holton, who works 5 innings, allows 3 runs, and leaves with a 2-run lead. So Weston out of the bullpen for Baltimore. What about him, Jim?
Sinker and a darting slider. At least it was darting on Sunday when he saved the game against Oakland, and on Tuesday 4 innings up in Seattle. A very tough place to pitch. He was able to come on with the Orioles trailing, pitched very well, and picked up his first major league win. Keeps the ball down, and he's pitched a lot this week, and a lot of times that will aid a sinker baller, because what he wants to do is have you swing at the ball just a little bit out of the strike zone.
And there was only one person that knew he was going to be called up, right?
Well, you know, there was a story that came out that his mother on Friday night had this premonition. She couldn't sleep. She called him on Saturday and said, "I think you're going to be called up." He got a phone call about an hour later, goes up to Baltimore, gets his first save. And here's a guy that started back in 1982 in Little Falls and became a 6-year free agent in the Met organization. The Orioles signed him, and he was 8-2 at Rochester as a starter. Amazing story, amazing week for Mickey.
Bottom of the 6th inning, a strike to Brian Downing. Downing, Davis, and Parrish, 5, 6, and 7 in the Angel order.
Can you imagine how many phone calls Roland Heeman, the general manager, got from guys that thought they could pitch after losing 107 games? Everybody calling.
Everybody but Bo Belinsky, probably. Maybe even Bo. Downing hits it down to Ripken, and Cal throws him out for the first out here in the 6th inning. 1 down. I guess it's Flint, Michigan night here at the ballpark. That's Abbott's hometown, and starting for the Angels, and the birthplace of Mickey Weston, who now lives in Fenton, Michigan. Chili Davis grounded out and singled.
I observed also that you said Bo Belinsky. Now in the American League, they're just coming up with Bo, right?
Right.
Bo Jackson is
That's
Bo
right.
now.
There's only one Bo now.
Yeah.
One hopper off Worthington's glove, and Davis is safe at first. So Chili is on, and the Angels will get the tying run to the plate in the person of Lance Parrish.
One of the advantage to a running threat like Chili certainly is, he still runs well, is that you do move the third baseman in to protect against a possible bunt. And because of that, I think Davis has a hit here. We'll see how it's going to be scored. I think it should be scored a hit. And is the 7th hit for the Angels. Or it has not been scored yet. It has been now.
1 out and 1 on, and that's Davis's second hit of the game. So Chile is at first base. And Parrish at the plate. 5 runs, 3 hits, and 1 error for Baltimore. 3-8-0 for the Angels in the 6th inning. Parrish hits it off the hands into left field. Bradley was playing very deep. It's a base hit. Davis is at second base. And the Angels have 2 on with 1 out in the 6th inning, and Jack Howell coming to the plate.
Third baseman, Jack Howell.
Well, even though Parrish breaks his bat, Weston likes to be down in the strike zone. So what is a normal good pitch from a fastball pitcher, but not a good pitch from a sinker, ends up being a base hit. That same ball down and in is usually a foul ball, maybe a ground ball to the third baseman.
Jack Howell at the plate. Struck out and grounded out.
Here's that example, Tim, you were talking about. Weston's strength is the low fastball, the sinking fastball. Jack Howell, the low ball hitter. And now Mickey can't really get away from that strength, or he's going to be in trouble. If he tries to pitch up, he's getting away from what he does best.
Right. What's the alternative? High sinkers? Catchers don't catch many of those.
No, they don't.
They end up sinking somewhere else.
Good fastball.
And that's a fastball. As you look at Doug Rader, that he throws with the seam, so he shows you 2 fastballs. Doug's saying, hey, we could use a hit here. He's probably looking at the scoreboard, seeing 9 hits. That's more than we've had in the last 2 weeks.
Oh, 2 to Howell. Flew it by him. Big strikeout, the second out of the inning. And it brings up Dick Schofield.
And that was a high fastball, Jim, but it didn't appear to be have the sinking motion on it.
That's that 4-seamer. You throw it, and he just runs it away. You can see not only is it up in the strike zone, but running from left to right. And again, it's a ball. If he takes that pitch, Weston has to throw another pitch. Now, it's what we talked about all the time. What you try to do is get ahead, and most hitters are not as good as they have a conference. Frank Robinson going out to talk to Mickey Weston.
And with Mike Riley out there as well, apparently he's checking on his condition. It has nothing to do with strategy or pitching to Schofield, and that's why Riley's in the picture here.
Well, Weston used as a reliever in the minors, starting in the International League this year, where he was 8-2 with Rochester, has not probably pitched this much on not successive days, but 3 times in a matter of about 5 days.
Well, this is not a charged appearance to Robinson on the mound, and that's why Frank was there along with Riley. And Weston, of all things, he finally gets the call to the big leagues. He makes his debut. He picks up a save and a victory, and here he comes in with a chance for another save, and he's hurt.
It happened to Mark Usman, who had spent some time with Detroit.
And so the Orioles have to go to the pen here in the 6th inning with 2 on and 2 out. 5-3 Baltimore. Williamson coming in. Mark Williamson comes in to pitch for Baltimore, and he'll get all the time he needs to warm up because of the injury to Weston. Weston leaving the game. The irony is here, you'll see pitchers leave games very often, but rarely after they've blown somebody away with a fastball for strike 3. That was his last pitch.
That's one of the biggest fear, I think, of any pitcher. You figure you're going to throw one pitch, and you're going to feel something pop. And we had a chance to see some footage, and take a look right here. Now, this is on the strikeout to Jack Howell. He reaches back and goes away from the sinker with a high fastball. And right there, you don't really see a whole lot, but he does grimace a little bit. I saw him in the locker room doing his arm exercises, and right here, he feels something that's not normal. Later on, he tried to throw a practice pitch, unable to do that, and Mark Williamson's come on. And right there, underneath the arm, Rotator cuff on the top of your shoulder. Right there, the subscapularis, the supraspinatus, the infraspinatus, and the teres minor, the 4 major tendons that come into the rotator cuff. You knew that, Al.
Oh, come on, would you? Formerly known as a sore arm, right?
Yes, exactly.
Okay. So the irony here, too, is that they brought Weston up and sent Jose Bautista, who had been hurt, back down to the minors, not for rehabilitation either. Bautista had pitched on Saturday. In fact, was the winning pitcher and was shocked to be sent down.
Well, you know, it's interesting. A lot of times you say, well, why can a pitcher pitch every 5th day? Why can't he come back at the end of the year when you need him on a more regular basis and pitch with only 3 days rest or whatever? It's what you're used to. And Weston, probably last year, could pitch 3 times in 1 week. But as a starter this year at Rochester, had some problems tonight.
Well, if you're joining us late, the Orioles come into town with a 6-game winning streak. They picked up 3 runs on just 1 hit in the first inning.